Hello and welcome. Today on Awaken and Ascend, we have someone who's going to be connecting us to the heart. This is a beautiful soul who's also the Leadership Circle podcast host, who I've recently been on with as well. So I know we're in for a really wonderful conversation today, connecting to the heart with Jeannette Meier today. And she is one who envisions the world that where we're all our own leaders, where we're standing in our own truth and catalyzing our own potential through who we are and what we love to create, and seeing we are as a portal to our leadership ascension. And I'm so grateful that you're here, Jeanette, to take us through this and really focus on connecting with the heart. And I know that we certainly connect through the heart. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much. You said everything so beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
Much better than when I introduced myself. I love
Oh.
that. I really love that. Thank you so
Hmm.
much for that. And I'm honored to be here. I really loved our conversation, our co-creation. And it's for me really an honor to be here with you, sharing our hearts and
Yes,
nurturing each other. I
yes.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. So welcome. And you already touched on something really important, Jeanette, and that is how we introduce ourselves, right? We do kind of struggle with that sometimes and stumble
Mhm.
upon, well, who are we? We're so many different things and like just a human and spiritual being all at the same time, So how do you introduce that? How do you introduce different aspects of yourself? How do you express yourself? And we can do that through the head, we can do it through the heart, we can do it through the body, through a hug. And there's so many different ways we get to express who we are and be able to connect one another. And that is something that's really interesting, establishing that identity, the role I found through, many different professions or positions and roles that I've had
Mm.
throughout my career, entrepreneurship, that there was different ways that I got to express myself through those roles, and the ways that we introduce ourselves. And so I'm really curious from you, Jeanette, what inspires you and how do you like people to know you? What do you like to share about yourself?
Well, one thing is really they ask me how I introduce myself. It's every time different because it depends where I am at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, where I am physically, but I try to be in the heart. I always try to express from the heart and being in the now moment, in the present, sharing what I am with who I am, no, with the ones I'm sharing. So really depends on the moment on how I am introducing myself. And for me to be who I am, it's not a label, it doesn't depend on where I am or what I'm doing, if I'm a job or so. At the end, I really speak from the heart. And to
Mm-hmm.
be who I am is to be in the present moment. So because many people struggle they ask you, but how am I who I am? I don't know it. I don't know it, no? Because they think with the heart and with the mind, and
Mm-hmm.
they say, okay, how am I going to identify myself? What's the label I would put in? How are they seeing me? It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
because when you are who you are, that means that you are in the present moment, in the now moment, and you are sharing this uniqueness
Mm-hmm.
with the rest. So
Yes.
it's really being who you are means being here now and whatever it is, because today I'm here now with you now, and in
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes, what I am has changed because I've been nurtured by who you are, you, what you've
Mm-hmm.
been sharing with me. So
Mm-hmm.
I will be different. I will be another I am, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really it's not about the labeling and the mind to define who we are. It's really to be in the moment and be.
Yes. To be, to connect
Mm-hmm.
within and with each other, and to
Yes.
move out of perhaps that way of role to role way of relating with each other and connect more soul to
Mm-hmm.
soul. And I think
Yes.
when we come from that space, then there's a real opportunity to connect, to collaborate, to contribute, to become more conscious of our interactions and how that is nourishing us or not,
Yes. Yes.
even.
Yes.
Hmm.
To be in the moment with the person you are also means that you are contemplating and observing, no, how your body is reacting and how
Hmm.
you're feeling and what your heart is telling you. So there are really certain people that it's not for us to be surrounded with. So really to
Hmm.
listen to that and move away or learn through that experience. Usually it's every relationship you're learning. So it's really to take it in the way it's for you to integrate this relationship, now this experience, and learn that it's not because of the person. It's really because it's not resonating with you. So
Mm.
it's uh, moving away, but in respect. It's not because of them. It's because you are not resonating. So it's
That's
really
right.
not being good for you, but it's not because the person is not okay. It's because
Hmm.
you don't resonate. So it's really listening to your heart and the moment, no? Choosing what's good for you, not good for you, and building relationships that grow you.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I love that you shared too about noticing how we respond. Like
Mm-hmm.
I notice in my body that I'm rocking right now. I'm rocking gently.
Yes.
And I find when there's good energy and there's resonance and it's nourishing, then I tend to rock and I tend to move
Mm-hmm.
gently in that way because it's nourishing me. It's like a self-soothing, how we sometimes rock ourselves. It's a very nourishing, nurturing way of being. And I didn't
Mm-hmm.
force that movement. It just naturally started happening as you were speaking and as our energy is coming together and weaving this conversation that I'm kind of moving along with it,
It's
literally with my
nice. Yes,
physical
yes, yes.
body. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you're right. I love that you share. It's really about the energetic alignment or connection that supports whether we continue interacting with someone or not, or how that shifts our emotions or gets us into our thought mind and trying to analyze and noticing how we're responding.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that, Jeanette, that you work with managers and organizations, offices, like people in leadership, and
Mm-hmm.
you're a real catalyzer of that potential of what's available there. And managers can carry a lot of different personalities and ways of being, and those leaders too, right? And
Yeah.
whether they're coming from authority and, really lighting the light under someone, kind of pushing them into action. And there's other leaders who really like to empower the strengths that each team member, for example, has to offer and to be able to empower the team to really create impact, like a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful impact. And I find you and I, because we take an approach of more sacred leadership, of self leadership, that it's nurturing those of us who are looking to create high impact to serve a higher purpose. So not to meet a certain status quo or the bottom line or, to force some kind of end result. It's really
Mm-hmm.
about growing our potential
Yeah.
individually, together, and transforming from the inside out so that
Mm-hmm.
we can, transform the world and let it see its beauty and it be in harmony when we're really resonating with our own truth. But how do we get people there, Jeanette? How do you see that happening in your work?
It takes time and it takes mm, experiencing. Not everything has to do with exploration, experiencing, and practicing, but for them to do that. But you start really by being who you want them to be. So by being you yourself with them, no, and for to sit down and listening. It takes a lot of listening, understanding, asking the questions that serves them, not me, so that they start realizing their potential, that they
Mm-hmm.
start seeing themselves through me, no? So it's
Mm-hmm.
really sitting down and talking to them and having conversations where I get to know them better and they get to know themselves better. And for me, it's to let them know how much I value them and how much I respect them, and highlighting all their skills and gifts that they have,
Mm-hmm.
so that they then can figure out by themselves through my guidance where they fit best in an organization, or how to best lead. No, at the end, the best way you are leading others is through your self leadership. No, you lead yourself, and then automatically you inspire and empower others. Because when you are a self leader, you, like you were saying before, you are in service to others, because you're in
Mm-hmm.
service to yourself, and you recognize that when you are in service to yourself, you're in service to everyone else.
Yeah. And you recognize the highest contribution that you can make
Mm-hmm.
as a leader, and then bringing that up, allowing that to emerge from the person that you're sitting there and being present with.
Yes.
Right. And so there's the highest contribution all the way around, which is going to, of course, have the greatest impact to serve a higher purpose. Because really, we all have a bit of responsibility here, a sacred responsibility of helping to evolve humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the
Mm-hmm.
higher purpose, right? And to co-create global harmony and to be able to, again, evolve as a species in the most beautiful way. And you're right, Jeannette, it starts from within around self-leadership. So let's focus on that a little bit. How can we learn to cultivate self-leadership?
For me, it has to do with something. One thing is, be the example you want to see.
Mm,
And if you are the example you want to see, if you cultivate that, you also start looking inside of yourself, starting looking into what you're thinking, like what we were saying before, this self-awareness, no, of your inside world, and
mhm,
also of the outside world, how the outside world is impacting you and how you are responding to it. And you become your self leader,
mhm,
because as you start navigating between the worlds and switching from the outside world into the inside world, to the inner world, so
mhm,
from living from the outside in into living from the inside out, you become the example you want to see, and you um, start living with what you believe, your values, and the love that you develop for yourself, the value that you develop for yourself, the respect that you develop for yourself. And when you do that, you do it automatically for everyone else,
mm,
because you start
mhm,
seeing that everyone is walking their own shoes, and everyone has their timings or times for anything. So if something is not the way you want, you learn that those are expectations, and expectations are from your point of view, not the other's point of view. So
mhm,
you start developing many things, many ways of seeing the world, perceptions that really allow you to become your self leader.
mm. So beautifully said and explained, and being able to radiate that light, the light of awareness, the light of who you are, and emanate those qualities, the qualities of what you truly value, and to stand in integrity of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's conscious revelation and evolution. And there's things that I find too helpful is engaging in soul care, really nourishing
Mm-hmm.
what you love to create, nourishing the
Yeah.
qualities that you have, nourishing your values, and making sure that you're living in integrity of that. because I find some of the costs of not engaging in soul care could be anxiety and depression, numbness, exhaustion, feeling overwhelmed, but it's the mind that gets overwhelmed, not the soul that
Yeah.
gets overwhelmed, and so you know that if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're in a different place, literally, in your
Yes,
body, and you
you're
can
up
take
here.
that time.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. And you can
Mhm.
take that time to settle in and come back in and pull your energy back within and allow that to settle and connect back into the heart and what's true for you, and to refocus and realign and recenter yourself, to return to your center, so that we can. There's a Taoist saying that just stand in the center of the circle and let everything take its course. We don't always have to
Yes.
respond to everything. We can just be. And in
No.
fact, that's the most important thing we can do, is to be. And that's not
hmm
about being complacent or anything like that.
No.
It's more about embodying life rather than reacting to it. Wouldn't you say?
Yes. Yes. For me,
Yeah.
it's the same. Yeah. It's the being is the observation, no? And you observe the outside world. You observe. You don't react, because many times if you react to something, it's like the fire, no? You're putting more fire to if you want to fight something, you're just putting more fire to that. And it's more
Mm-hmm.
for you to live in your integrity
Mm-hmm.
and being the example you want to see for yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
and staying calm, being. And that's not to be, um, you said complacent, no? How you say that?
Mm-hmm.
Not
Complacent.
to
Yeah.
allow things to happen, because you are in integrity and you don't allow
Right.
things to happen for you.
Mm-hmm.
Never. But you're observing and you're not fighting and you're not putting energy in something that
Mm-hmm.
you will make it more powerful, because you are putting some energy in it, no? So, and about also self leadership, you were saying about fortifying, strengthening our gifts and all the things. So I always say that we are love, uniqueness, and co-creation. Love is what
Mm-hmm.
we said before: love, value, respect for yourself and everyone else, and in unity, no, in oneness. Because when you
Mm-hmm.
recognize yourself, you recognize everyone else. And when you recognize yourself, you start also exploring, experiencing, and practicing your uniqueness. You start creating what you love, and you
Mm-hmm.
start exploring and learning from it and growing and understanding that you are unique
Mm-hmm.
in because of the gifts you have.
Mm-hmm.
No? And when you do that, when you have love and uniqueness, you are co-creating every time, because you are your own guru, and you know that everyone else is their own guru. So you are learning from the others, you are receiving from them, and you are giving also through this servicing others.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an infinite loop of giving and receiving, where we all grow, no, from in wholeness, not giving anything up, just being who
Mm-hmm.
you are, letting everyone be who they are, and really learning and co-creating a new earth through
Mm-hmm.
this dancing, beautiful dance of giving and receiving.
Mm. Where we get to elevate in reciprocity. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Oh, so
yes.
beautiful. And being united in that shared vision and purpose as well. Like you say
Mm-hmm.
about that
Mm-hmm.
unity, right? And yeah, and these aren't like lofty ideals. This is something that actually happens when you
Yes,
engage in life in this way, when you are
yes,
in that divine alignment. Yes, we've seen it,
yes,
we live it,
yes.
and we
We
know
live
when
it.
it's, I know I can tell right away when I'm not in alignment, right? And what
Mm-hmm.
happens and
Mm-hmm.
what that looks like. And we end up wasting time, energy, and money when we're not in integrity with what's true for us, and honoring our own uniqueness rather than, like comparing to other people,
Yeah,
because
no,
that
there's
can
no
get in
comp.
the way. That really
Yeah.
gets in the way. What else do you think gets in the way, Jeanette, from
For
us
me,
living in
well,
our truth? Hmm.
yeah, well, there's the comparison, like you were saying, and
Hmm.
the other thing that happens to us entrepreneurs a lot
Mm.
is the collaboration part. For
Mm.
me, I have had experiences in collaborating, and for me, collaboration is is um, is sometimes you have to be careful not to give away from who you are to
Mm.
make the collaboration successful.
Ah.
So, so collaborating comes from the doing.
Mm.
So collaboration has a goal and it's in the mind. You and me are collaborating because we want this goal to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
as we want this goal to happen, you and I will be adjusting so that it happens. And in the
Yeah.
adjustment, you have to be very careful not to lose your wholeness,
Mm.
because you are in your mind. And co-creation comes from the being, wholeness
Mm.
and wholeness with a vision. It doesn't, you have the vision, we are working together and co-creating through that vision. But so we are giving and receiving. So what the final outcome, we don't know. And we don't care
Mm-hmm.
because we are here every moment co-creating. And
Mm-hmm.
usually, and in the workshops I do, and the outcome is so out of your mind
Yeah.
because you never had imagined that together it would be such
Mm.
an exponential outcome.
Oh,
Because
wow.
when you put a goal, you're limiting your mind, and you're limiting yourself with what the mind knows. When you are being and co-creating, you're open to whatever comes because it's
Mm.
moment by moment by the being, no?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, collaboration, it's a limiting factor also in this true leadership, in this self-leadership, in this co-creation,
Right.
because it comes from the doing, from the mind.
Ah, such a beautiful perspective. Yes. And much more elevated approach, really, to see it in that way and to feel it in that way and to be in that way
Mhm.
as well. Mm.
Yes.
Mm. And working together, the people that we're here to serve as well, that's a beautiful co-creation. And so share us a little bit about your work, Jeannette, and how people would connect with you.
Well, I'm the host of the Leadership Circle podcast, and I co-create conversations, which I did with you, Jennifer. And
Mm-hmm.
what does this mean? That we don't usually we don't know each other when we start
Mm-hmm.
the podcast episode. I hit the record button. There's no preparation. There's no interview. There's just a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this flowing of beingness,
Mm-hmm.
where the outcome is always so nourishing and so beautiful and so, well, surprising because the mind hasn't kicked in in
Mm-hmm.
defining
Right.
the way. So
Yeah.
this is one thing I love to do, and really it grows so much. And through that, I'm planting the seeds of co-creation for people to experiment. Because one thing I've learned is that you are able, when you explain certain things like
Mm-hmm.
co-creation, very difficult to understand it, and unless you experience it. So
Mm.
that's why I'm doing those conversations, the podcast, because it's for me to planting the seeds of co-creation with everyone I'm sitting down with and co-creating,
Mm.
because it's so powerful. And
Yes.
yeah, and it's the same. Well, I do counseling, and I'm preparing a program that is called the Guru Self Mastery Blueprint, and
Oh.
it has to do with, well, self leadership,
Mm-hmm.
and really at the end there's a workshop for 1 month of experimenting or exploring the power of co-creation.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a 3 month program, and it's for everyone to explore, experiencing, practicing, because it's continuous, in this 3 months to really sit together and explore, experiencing, practicing what it is to be a true leader, your own guru.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, because I do many things besides that, I work with companies, leading teams in, well, in this true leadership. I believe that every, well, I know that every organization is based on people. The
Mm-hmm.
people are the most important factor in any organization. So if you want to grow an organization, you empower your people.
Mm-hmm.
So you let them know they are their true leaders, they are their selves leaders, and they can be who they are and create what they love also at work. Because
Mm-hmm.
I don't separate personal from professional, because at the end it's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And at work you have to be who you are and create what you love. So I walk them through that path so that they are happy, motivated, and that together we are building a company.
Yes. Yes. I love that you don't separate either. I feel the same way. People often talk about work-life balance. Like
Hmm.
it's just about your life work, it's
Yes,
about your life work, really, is what it
yes.
comes down to. And the alignment is what balance is. Living in your truth is what
Hmm.
creates that, yeah, that feeling. Because yeah, we won't get into all of
The
all the ways
expansion,
it could be into balance. That's right.
the
Yes.
expansion of who you are, the growing every day, the yeah, expanding yourself in
Yeah.
anywhere you are, no, and with whoever you are. Let
Hmm.
this beautiful limitless potential that everyone has flourish in every moment in time, because we are here
Yeah.
for that.
Absolutely. And just like you shared a sampling of your various services and your offerings, which we'll have the link to, by the way, everyone. If you're wondering how to connect with Jeannette, we have her website and her socials there, and of course the podcast that she also hosts, and that's all available in the video description. But this is what it's all about. It's that expansion, exploring the different ways and experimenting, and being able to offer organically because the needs change, of
Hmm.
our own and those of others that we're serving as well. And so that's part of the evolution, and being adaptable and flexible and being able to stay connected to the present moment and trusting in how everything unfolds in the best possible way, beyond the mind,
Yes,
as you said so
yes.
eloquently, Jeanette. And I wonder if there is anything else that you would like to share with us in this moment.
Well, for me, the purpose of life is to be who you are and create what you love.
Hmm.
So really be who you are and create what you love, because well, it nourishes you so much, it expands you, you grow, you learn, and you live from the inside out, and it's such a beautiful way of living, and
Mm.
it shows your limitless potential. So many surprises you receive during the day when you are in your heart.
Mm.
Magical.
Well, let's try that. Let's encourage the
Mhm.
viewers and the listeners to, even for one day, living from the heart and seeing what
Mhm.
happens. And I'd love to see in the comments any blessings and gifts and realizations or insights that you receive from doing that. You can put that in the comments. And of course, like this video and share it with others, because it's such a beautiful resonance, I think, that energy that we can spread out there in the world and to be able to expand upon. So all of that is much
Yes.
appreciated, as you are, Jeanette. Thank you so much for being who you are and what you're creating. I love all of it and all of who you are. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. And thank you to all your listeners also.
Hmm.
I'm very
Hmm.
grateful. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. And thank you. Like Jeanette said, we appreciate you so much, each and every one of you that are listening and watching and tuning into Awaken and Ascend. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.